Welcome to the first episode of the Golden Deed Community Outreach Series, proudly brought to you by Century 21 Grenada. In this series, we shine a light on incredible individuals using their passion and purpose to uplift our communities. Today, we are sitting down with an inspiring local artist whose work radiates emotion, culture, and storytelling. From childhood memories with her grandmother to vibrant paintings influenced by Grenada's natural beauty, she has carved out a unique space in the Caribbean art world. Her pieces don't just decorate, they move people. Let's get into her journey, her process, and the deep purpose behind every brushstroke. Good morning.
Hello.
Okay, could you begin by introducing yourself?
So I'm Judith Jarvis. I'm a painter who came to the island nearly 20 years ago, from the UK to live here.
What first inspired you to create art, and how has your purpose evolved over the years?
So I can't remember a time when I didn't do something creative. Wasn't always painting, but as a very small child, my mum's mum, my grandmother, took me to it was a show on ice, Peter Pan on ice, and I was so inspired by going to the show that I came back and made clothes out of hydrangea leaves and shoes, and just made myself a costume out of leaves, basically. And then after that, at her house, she had chalk in her garden, and between her house and the next house was a black painted kind of alleyway, like an archway, and I got some of the chalk and made a drawing of Moby Dick. I don't know why, the whaling boat and the whale, and I really got into that. It was very big. It went almost from the front of her garden to the back of her house in the end. So has my purpose changed? I think, I don't know, you lose that kind of spontaneity that you have as being a child sometimes. I think when you're an adult, and you're painting or you're getting into artwork, and things become more, perhaps more based on your direct experience rather than kind of from fairy tales or stories, or it's for me anyway, that's how it's gone. It's become more to do with where I am, and what I see and what I get inspired by.
That's powerful. It's beautiful how you have that background, with your grandmother and how it shaped your creative path initially, and then you just kind of have found your own experiences from
Yeah.
then on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How does living in Grenada influence your work, from the colors you use to the stories you tell?
So my big response is to the light here, to the sunlight, and everything I'm painting really has, at the moment particularly, has got sunlight and shadows in it. It's just something about the sparkle. It brings everything to life. And also with, I do generally work from photos that I take, and photography tends to, or my camera seems to pick up things in a way that probably the eye doesn't see it quite that way, but I love it because it will bleach out a whole area to make it white. You might get polarities of light coming through that you don't necessarily see by eye so much as when you see it on the camera, and I go with that. It's kind of got an abstract quality that I love. I think actually, subject matter wise, it's often people, but often people within a setting. And then I also like kind of textures as well. So I've painted quite a lot of boats, ones that are generally, I like the ones that are decaying with the paint falling off and mold growing on it. It's that kind of surface quality that things have as well, I get inspired by. So what was the other part of your question, Melissa?
Yes, the vibrancy of the island really does come through in your palette. So I can see that from the painting you have here on your right. Well, for our next question, in moments of creative block or doubt, what do you turn to for strength or inspiration?
Yeah, again, I always have far too much to paint, really. I've got so many photos that I've taken that I want to paint. I go back to them and go, I would really love to paint this one, but I know how long things take, and so I don't get through them. In fact, I don't. So really, I don't get block very often. I have far too much that I want to get through that I never probably will unless I live to be a 1,000. So, but if sometimes I just feel like I've had too much of the detail and the fine, it's become, I might have spent, like on this painting, probably 3 months or so, and some of the detail and trying to get it accurate, although it's got a certain degree of spontaneity in some places about it, but trying to get accuracy in there so that it is convincing. It can be quite off-putting sometimes.
I think I definitely see the light in your paintings because I see where it hits him versus in the tree and stuff. It's the different spots where you paint. I
Yeah,
can tell
exactly. Yeah, it kind of takes the eye through and kind of sparkles. But so if that happens, then I will. If I feel like I've got too congested with sitting too long painting, I'll go off and do an acrylic painting on paper, which I love. I love painting that way because it's lots of thin layers of paint and much more. I get my hands in there and it's quicker and it kind of sets me free for a bit before I get entrenched again.
Do you find that those moments of release sometimes lead to unexpected breakthroughs in your work?
Can change the way that I paint. Yeah, I guess some sort of this is my dog, Frosty.
He's fine.
Photo bombing.
Little cutie.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent I do. Certainly it does, technically it frees me up and then I start maybe using more thin, I've found that I'm using more thin glazes than I used to because it's kind of the way that I work with acrylic. And that's developed. So yeah, to some extent.
Yeah. What's one piece you created that holds deep personal meaning and why?
There are a lot of them, but I'm really thinking about a painting that I made of a friend, Victor, who's a Rasta farmer and woodcarver, and his friend Eric, who I hadn't met before. And I think it's because of the personal connection, and it was also part of the experience that it reminds me when I'm painting it. I'm thinking of the day that I went with Victor up into the hills to Eric's land, and we were taking up. So I think Victor had got some mango charcoal, and he was swapping it for some dasheen root. When we arrived at the farm plot, Victor got out the car and he and Eric just I said, "Can I take a photo of you both?" And they said, "Yeah, sure." And they did the one love sign, and it's just like it was like a moment. So it's kind of based on that. Was a really fun day out. It was a bit crazy. We ended up driving different places, and it's just that kind of personal connection to somebody, but also a spontaneous moment between two people.
A candid moment. I always like those. They're really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, painting people, it's really intimate. Is that your favorite subject to explore?
Yeah, I do really love. There's something about it. I don't know what it is, but I don't get bored at all. When I'm painting faces, I can't stop. It's like particularly faces. But I also do love
the soul. It's like looking into the soul.
Yeah, it is. It is that. I can't really even totally say what it is either, but I've just always really enjoyed painting them, and I think a lot of it is just also the structure of the face. I'm really fascinated by faces. Yeah. And people as well. And I just it's quite interesting on different ages and just the whole range. Like for instance, again with Victor, the amazing like dreads tied up in a sculptural top knot, just fantastic, kind of so visually interesting as well. So.
How do you hope your art contributes to your community or impact those who see it?
I think most people that buy my work I think they are touched by the subject matter and they can relate to it. A lot of people say that. I had an email from somebody recently who was asking after a painting, which was it was a front porch that I painted from Carriacou of an old building, and she was saying that it reminds her of her grandmother's house here in Grenada. And all happy memories. So it's somebody from the island telling me, I love that painting. It's got some resonance for me, and that is a big heartfelt thing. Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful way to look at art, kind of like a translator to like intuition or an emotive,
Into
like,
a shared experience,
yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
nostalgia. So
Yeah.
I always feel like that too as
Yeah,
well.
and connection to something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's always looking to connect to anything they
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Judas. Well, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
It was beautiful hearing all of how you connect to art and how art inspires you in your everyday life. And we hope to see you soon in some of
Thank
your work.
you. Yeah, I'll keep on painting.